Everyone wants to have a ton of money. It is one of the things almost universally everyone wants more of. Even those that say they don't care do actually care to some degree. But the truth is, if you don't have enough money, or you want more but can't seem to get more money, what is holding you back is that you are actually scared of money. That's right, fear is taking over whether you want to admit it or not. You are fearful of money. And it's okay if you don't want to believe me or you want to blame others, make excuses, whatever the case is, that's all right. I'll show you the 3 different ways that fear is absolutely controlling you when it comes to money. But don't worry, there is a way to conquer it, and I will tell you exactly how to do that too. Because I believe everyone can retire early and be financially independent despite all the lies that you've been told. So if you want total control over your life, I'll show you exactly how to achieve financial freedom and retire early. So make sure you're subscribed because they want you working forever and I want you completely out of this mess. So how do I know you are actually scared of money? Well, there are actually 3 truths that prove that you're actually scared of money, but don't worry, I'll give you exactly how to conquer each one as well. So truth number 1 is you never mastered your money. If you actually mastered your money, you would be able to make more of it, you'd have a great budget laid out, and you'd know exactly how to invest it and deeply understand those concepts. Most folks don't even honestly know where to start to actually learn these concepts, much less actually apply them, much less actually become a master of their own money. That's exactly where the fear kind of comes in, right? I mean, what happens if you get it all wrong? What happens if you screw it up? What happens if you fall for a scam or something else like that? What if you can't figure it out at all? I mean, are you just, kind of dumb and you just don't get it and you're just, that person that just can't learn anything? All of those fears keep 99% of the people from actually mastering their money. So how do you conquer those fears? First, you must be willing to put in a lot of work to actually do a financial audit on yourself, create a budget, and learn how to invest. This is not going to just take a weekend. This is not going to just take a few hours. You can't just watch a few YouTube videos. It's going to take a lot of deep, hard work in order for you to get over this fear that you have in regards to not having your money mastered. Starting out, you're going to master a few things in a few weeks, and then other things in a few months, and yet other things are actually going to take you years to master, and you have to understand that journey and not be afraid to dedicate that sort of time to mastering your money. But you also have to be willing to make mistakes and not be scared to make mistakes. There is nobody who has mastered money who has mastered it without making mistakes. Every single person out there who has mastered money has made mistakes over and over again. It's not about making mistakes. It's about what you do and what you learn and not making that same mistake again in the future. And if you're worried about scams and other things like that, you need to do your due diligence. Again, it's a timepiece. You're not going to get scammed if you do your due diligence on something that sounds too good to be true. If I'm telling you it could take weeks to learn a single concept, months to learn others, and years to learn others, and somebody else is saying, hey, I can teach you in just an hour, just buy this thing here, it's clearly a scam. Your job is to identify and avoid scams, not fear them. So truth number 2, you're afraid that if you actually master your money, you will be looked down on. Look, here's the bottom line when you master your money and you go through all the concepts. You are going to make significant changes to your life when that happens. And I mean massive changes, guys. Outward changes that people are going to see, they're going to notice, and they're absolutely going to judge you on it. And that fear of judgment is exactly what's holding you back. You're afraid, what's your family going to think if you downgrade your house or start house hacking or something else that's just crazy like that to actually save money and actually turn your finances around. You fear what your coworkers will think if you got rid of that fancy car with the big car payment and you downgrade it to, just basically a, used car that makes more sense and it's just as reliable as the other, maybe even more reliable than the other car you had a massive payment on. You're afraid of what they're going to think. You're afraid of what they're going to think if you start turning them down to go out to eat all the time or out for drinks after work or whatever the case is in order to put that money back, and instead you're bringing your lunch. You fear what others will say if you don't show up in the latest clothes or have the latest watch or have the latest phone or whatever the other gadget is that are out there that you think you need to have in order to keep up with everybody else. Or even just to keep up on your past self where you presented yourself this way, and now you've got to make decisions that actually may, backtrack, actually may go against what you've, kind of said you were in the past. You fear what your family will say if you start investing and actually investing in real life and actually investing in things that make you money instead of kind of the normal investments that everybody invests in. What's your family going to say? They're going to think you're crazy if you're out there investing in real estate because real estate's dangerous, or you're in the stock market and you're not just buying index funds, you're buying individual stocks, and ooh, that's really, really risky. I wouldn't do that if I were you. Or you just fear something as silly as, what are my kids going to think if we go on a staycation this year instead of on a big vacation that we always do every year in the summer? You fear how everyone is going to view you after you make the massive changes that come with mastering your money. So how do you conquer those fears? Oddly enough, it's just stop caring what others think. I mean, are you going to let your coworkers dictate your financial future? You're going to let your family members dictate your financial future? You're going to let your kids dictate your financial future? I mean, if that's what you want to do, okay, but that fear of that judgment is going to, I guess you're thinking you're making them happy, but really you're just making yourself miserable and making it to where you can never achieve financial freedom. All that based upon the judgment of some folks. I mean, heck, not everybody likes all their family, right? And not everybody loves all their coworkers, right? And I get it, you probably love your kids, maybe not, I guess. But the point being, you're living your life for all these other people who probably half of them, more than half of them, don't even care about you all that much. If somebody doesn't want to be your friend or associate with you based upon the car that you drive, or whether or not you have the newest iPhone or whatever the case is, they're crappy friends, guys. They freaking suck. I mean, is this junior high or is this grown adult life where you make adult decisions that move you closer to financial freedom and your goals? Family members who don't want you to succeed financially are not the best either. And even if they don't understand, if they can't just respect your opinion and you feel like there's going to be some actual judgment there where you're actually fearful to actually make those decisions to make your financial life better and just show them through your actions, then those are family members you might need to kind of tailor back time on. I mean, you don't need that sort of negativity in your life. You're basically the product of the 5 closest people to you. And if you're constantly keeping family members close to you that are negative and don't want you to go anywhere, probably because they haven't gone anywhere and they don't want you to go anywhere either, then at that stage, you've got to make a decision. Do you want to be financially free and not be afraid of money? Or do you just want to stay over here, fear money, and just live the same life you've always lived? When you stop caring what others think to that degree, where you're not going to let that alter your financial freedom, that is where you make massive strides forward in your journey towards that financial freedom. And truth number 3, you fear losing money. I mean, what if I learn how to invest in real estate and I screw it all up? Or what if the stock market tanks? Or what if the government just screws all this up? Those are fears that I hear all the time that keep people from absolutely achieving financial freedom and making more money. I hear it all the time. Hey, starting a business or a side hustle that could turn into a full-time business is risky. I don't want to do that. That's too risky. Why is it risky? Because you fear losing money and losing time and losing everything else starting a business that may or may not actually fail. And the deep-rooted reason why you fear losing money in the first place is because you have a scarcity mindset with money. You think money is finite, and if you lose any of it, you can't get it back. It's just gone forever because there's not enough to come back to you in the end, and that's not true. So how do you conquer those fears? By understanding that there's not a single investor in the history of investing who was not lost before. Losing is part of the game, but it also comes with more winning than it does losing when you learn how to actually do it properly. If you think investing is about just winning once or losing once and that's it, you're playing the wrong game. You're not playing the investing game. Investors understand that they're going to lose sometimes, but the key is to just not lose more than you win, but you're going to take a loss. But most folks refuse to learn how to invest in the first place and actually do it properly and actually do it over the long run because they're afraid to lose. And the first time they lose, most folks leave the game and never come back and play again. And they usually lose because they cheated the work. They just followed a YouTube video during all the hype during 2021 and just, bought whatever poop token to the moon or NFT to the moon, whatever the case was, instead of putting in the work and understanding how to actually invest in the first place. Stop playing those part-time games and jump over here to the real game and look at this chart right here. You tell me where the fear is in this chart. Every single time I see a giant fear event or the market tanking, it looks kind of like a blip on the radar to me whenever I'm looking at this chart. This is the history of the stock market right here, at least modern time history. And this is the actual truth about what happens. Oh, and by the way, every time there was an actual market tanking, event that happened, that was the best time to invest and put more money in. Not be afraid to invest and pull all your money out. And if you're worried about our government, it's been dysfunctional for decades. And again, go back to that chart. You tell me whether or not it's mattered or not. The facts are, it hasn't mattered. Look at the chart, look at the housing investments, look at real estate investments overall, and you tell me if our government has mattered or not. The facts are, it doesn't really seem to matter all that much. The market goes up regardless. And if you think money is scarce instead of abundant, you're just wrong. There's more millionaires made every single year. Good market, down market, high inflation, recession, no recession, whatever the case is, The point being, the trend line, just like the stock market trend line, is up for millionaires. More money is created every single day, not just from the Fed, but through the banks, through investments themselves, through private lending, through all kinds of other different directions. Money is created every single day. So it is more than abundant. You just need to get out there and get yours, because right now, fear is keeping you from getting out there and actually achieving your goals. And the further good news is, this channel is about helping you achieve financial freedom. They want you working forever, and I want you completely free from this mess. And I know what we talk about may be blacklisted by society, but it's the truth and it can actually get you there. So make sure you're subscribed so that way you don't miss any of this content, because they want you to miss it, guys. Trust me. And I want you to have all the information you need. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.